As always, this is your captain speaking, live from the WDiMT studios in Sunnyside. Currently, it is 27 degrees out there. So, that's not right. Still having issues out of the weather station, folks. Forgive me there. It looks like it is currently 34 degrees out there, so that would be a little bit more accurate there. Slight wind, 2 miles an hour out of the south-southwest. Barometric pressure is 29.73 and falling. So thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning. We've got a lot to talk about, as always. Seems like whenever you're seeing me, we always have a lot to talk about. So we'll hop right off into the important stuff. Winter weather advisory pretty much issued for the entirety of the state of Tennessee at this point. I think some of the East Tennessee counties have a special weather statement, but it's all pretty much about the frozen precip. So today we do have a high of about 34, so it looks like we're there already. Everywhere in the state probably going to see some form of precip or the other throughout the day today. And tonight's low of around 23, so again, everything that we do get, rain, freezing rain, or otherwise, should freeze over tonight. So if you got to make that early morning commute, definitely watch out for the black ice. Tomorrow, high of 29, so again, we're dipping back down into the below freezing levels for our highs. And again, that frozen precip, black ice, snowmelt, whatever you want to call it, will likely be an issue. 7-day forecast there. Looks like, as we predicted the other night, we won't get back above freezing until around Sunday, and that still is a little bit up in the air, so maybe 30 to 34 might not make it back above freezing Sunday night either, but it looks like we are solidly in the freezing range for Saturday and Sunday, Friday and Saturday as it stands right now. And then for sure, the only day that we will get above freezing, or the first day rather, will be on Monday with a high of around 41 to 46 degrees. The lows still look like they'll be close enough to freezing until sometimes around Tuesday or Wednesday night. So go over a couple things real quick. So with the freezing rain, it can be rather sneaky. So ice can form on roadways and your windshield when the air temp drops below freezing. So if you do have to have an issue with Facebook, so apologize for that, y'all. They're saying my music's copyrighted, but it's not, so apologies. They just sent me a gigantic notification in the middle of the broadcast, so man, Facebook really one day is just gonna all right, moving past that, the Weather Service, this is some of the graphics straight from weather.gov. They have a gigantic set of slides that you can go and find on weather.gov/winter. Good info there. If you do drive and you have to go to work in the mornings, make sure that you're cleaning off the car, because you can send a gigantic sleet of ice flying into somebody's face. So that's definitely not good. Where are my models? I loaded my models in, and they seem like they're not wanting to cooperate. Oh, all right. Hold on, folks. Technical difficulties here. It looks like it cleared all of my models out. Having issues today, sports fans. Sorry about that. Give me just 1 second. I see that big money that everybody's sending. Appreciate you as always. As always. Good morning, Miss Tammy. Glad you were joining us on the broadcast so far. Let me get these models pulled back up, because it looks like it cleared. I deleted some stuff just because my folders were getting... Actually, we'll do one better. I'll show you. So we'll just go into screen share and we'll do it this way. So Um, there is a little bit of a trick here, so we'll go in and look at the 12 Zulu model that gives us the 48-hour view from about 6 hours ago, 5 hours ago, whenever that was. And we'll show you what the radar looked like then, and then kind of go over what things look like now. So we see that wintry precip beginning to move in about between noon and 1 o'clock, so it has moved back to yesterday from the predicted 11 a.m. start time, and the track may be a little bit different. So this is the 12Z HRRR model. You can see pretty good little areas of pink coming across the MuleTown, Murray County area, and then most of it clearing out by around 7 o'clock, maybe some still lingering around in the area until around 10 p.m., and then it moves on out to the east. Friday looking pretty good, so no precip expected for the area on Friday. Looks like into Saturday morning at 6 a.m. We'll look at the ice accumulations there, and you can see some of those starting to creep in. By about 1 or 2 p.m. we should show some accumulating ice on this last model, so up to around 1/10 of an inch or so. It is on the lower end of the scale, but 1/10 of an inch of ice can be rather tricky. So now let's go have a look at the latest model that is run, and I'll show you where things begin to diverge pretty sharply. So starting at 11 a.m. there, which we are at right now. So noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. So it's like moving out around 10 p.m. But if you noticed, none of that pink was around the Murray County area. So I'll go ahead and fast forward through that pretty quickly. So the latest model guidance actually has all of the ice missing in the Murray County area. So good news for that. Maybe a little bit along the northern end of the county, around Spring Hill or so, going into Williamson County, northern Marshall. But I checked the rapid model as well too, and it is saying the same thing. So good luck or good news there for most everybody as far as that goes, but it has thrown the forecast in, thrown a definite monkey wrench into the forecast. So dealing with that at the moment, and Facebook being difficult, so I may have to change up some of the things we use in the broadcast, because it told me, I think, that it's blocking anyone else from viewing the video that's not already viewing the video, so that's just great. But I see that we have 129 folks joining us in the broadcast. Thank you, Rush Holiday. Big money, as always. Appreciate each and every one of you. Lindsay Tora, you too. I see you. So appreciate everybody joining us in the stream today. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw those down there in that comment section, and I promise we will get to them. My camera's a little off too. Let me adjust that. There we go. Somehow it just gets bumped off a little bit every time. I don't know why that happens. But anyway, thank you all for joining us. We hope you are all doing so well on this beautiful, I can't even lie to you, on this rather rainy and yucky Thursday. So currently it's just a little bit, I see, and I got my time fixed too. So it is 11:44 in the a.m. We also appreciate everybody joining us on YouTube. We do simulcast there. And if Facebook keeps on, it may be solely there. Hate to do that to you, Facebook peeps, and I'll probably link it to Facebook, but I am that close. That close, because I'm making Facebook money. They get the majority of the star money that you send us to us all. Don't know if you all know that. It roughly equates to about a penny per click and like, and this and that and the other. The stars are a little bit more, but they are greedy, and I hate them all. So anyway, I'm gonna go away from that now and be happy. But Facebook is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity, and I hate it. So we'll go back through all of our stuff for Yeah, unfortunately, that is the sad, hard truth, Miss Tammy. But we appreciate you all anyway. So I did look at what they are sending us for the month, and it's doing pretty fine, just because we've had so many new people and so many new interactions on the page. But basically, if I don't go at that break my neck speed, they pay us peanuts. So it ain't about the money, never has been, but it does help with some of the overhead expenses and buying new gizmos and toys. I've luckily had some of you reach out to us and ask how you can help, and I appreciate that very much. I'm going to get back to you. I promise I'm going to get back to you. I've just been crazy busy between being Mr. Mom and Bill Hall, y'all. So we'll get into the startup stuff there for the folks that may have missed it. So winter weather advisory in effect for pretty much the entire viewing area, the entire WFO office of Nashville's responsibility. So pretty much everybody could see some wintry precip out there today. So high of around 34, and it looks like that's about where we are at. So no surprises there. Good chance for everybody in the state, mid-state area to see some of that precip of some kind. And then tonight, same thing as well, low of about 23, and that is going to start our trend back up of being under freezing. So we got a couple more days ahead with those highs and lows below freezing. Tomorrow, at least, looks to be a little bit better as far as the partly cloudy sunshine goes, but it will still be about a high of 29. So, and there is the 7-day outlook. So today, high of around 32 to 36 seems to be about right. So we are at 34 right now, and that is the problem, folks, is it's going to be possibly liquid precip falling through a warm layer and then freezing again on contact, because we are just above freezing right now as is. So that is the trick. I'll pull up the graphic I've got about the melting layer. I did actually go in and download it last time, like I said I would. Oh, let me find that. Where is our melting layer? I think, yep, there it is. So let me go ahead and add that into our broadcast software, since it deleted my models, but we got those showed to you just a second ago. Yep, it is right there. Perfect. All right, so this, sports fans, is how it all works. So you see left graphic there on the far left side, snow falling, just doing its little snowy thing, never melting, and sleet. So when snow or frozen precip falls through a slight warm layer aloft, the droplets freeze and form ice before reaching the surface. That's also where we see grapple falling. So it's kind of like fluffy ice pellets, if you will, that aren't just a solid chunk of ice like a piece of an ice cube. And then freezing rain. So we have frozen precip at altitude falling through a warm layer. They're indicated by the orange box that doesn't have enough time to refreeze, but then it refreezes at the surface. And then regular old rain, obviously frozen precip falling through the warm layer that extends all the way to the ground from altitude and never refreezes again. So that is the kind of scenario that we are dealing with today. We have a warm layer that's semi-close to the ground, but we still have a frozen precip falling from altitude and then refreezing at some point, since we are so close to freezing right now at the ground level. So let me, it looks like our live ticker did not update as well either. So give me just 1 minute, folks, and I'll get that fixed up. Ashley Gregory, big money, appreciate that. Aaron, I'll get right to those travel conditions because it's going to depend. So some of the last model guidance that we had looked at had some ice accumulations for the mid-state area, but now things have changed a little bit, and the models are suggesting that we may not see any ice accumulations or only very, very minimal ice accumulations. So we are having to roll with changes there. I'll show you some of those models of what the projected radar and precipitation looks like, but the official forecast still suggests that we have about a 70% chance of precip, and daytime ice accumulation may be less than 1/10 of an inch. So that is about what we thought. It's just kind of moving things around on us a little bit as far as the exact track, but still in the forecast officially from the NWS, which I'm copying right now from their website and pasting it into our ticker, suggests that we will still see some ice accumulation and or freezing rain, but it is looking possibly less likely now. All right, so ticker is fixed. There it is back up at the bottom. So all updated stuff there from the NWS. That's the majority of all of the info that we share to you comes directly from the NWS, unless I say, hey, just going out on a limb on this. But we can go ahead and have a look at our Storm Tracker Doppler radar, and we see some precip already beginning to fall, possibly around the area. Let me know what you see and where you're at. Throw it in the comments, because it looks like we may have some. Turn our winter filter on there. See, it looks like it's pretty minor, but it looks like we may be starting to see some wintry precip fall around the Murray County MuleTown area. It looks like areas around James Campbell Boulevard or Walmart, so Brickmead Drive, Carmack Boulevard, East James Campbell, anywhere around there, Mayflower Drive, Astor Drive, Alpine, Wedgwood, any of those areas right now. If you're around there, let me know what you're seeing. All right, so Boppy says we have light rain right now over behind the college, so that is good to hear. And as you see, that as I was talking, that precip moved on out from the next radar scan. So I'll turn the winter filter back off just in case you are seeing some of this lighter stuff that is making it to the ground. I'll leave that off now just for a couple of moments. But you see precip beginning to move into the mid-state area. Amy, appreciate that. Big money. Appreciate it. And sorry for the rant, guys. Facebook just really grinds my gears. You'd think $1 billion company wouldn't be so cheap, but you'd be wrong. So, gotta play by their rules, unfortunately. So I'll take you over back to our screen share again and let you look at what I am looking at, and we'll go through some of the models. I'll explain to you how I do everything and the method behind the madness. So, moving on over to the 16 Zulu HRRR model. Let me get that zoom back in for you. Oh, excuse me, no, this is wrap still. We'll move over to, there we go. And get that zoom back in for you so you can see where we are easily. So last couple of runs of the model have most of the frozen precip going to our north, actually, or north and east. So we may end up lucky in that aspect. However, this was the situation 4 hours ago. So right at about 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain total. So things can and do change, and that is just a good example of those things changing on us. So I've looked at a couple of the other models, and the guidance there suggests the same, that we may get lucky and not see any of that freezing rain. Have a look at the 16 Zulu wrap model, and it is suggesting somewhere about the same. So Spring Hill, areas of Williams County right there along the county line, you may still get some, but it looks like the rest of MuleTown and Murray County proper may not see any of that frozen wintry precip. So simulated radar run coming through the day, and it looks like it's got us getting mostly rain, and that could be the fact that we're at 34 currently. I'll have to go kick the weather station and see exactly what it's at again, because it's still showing us at 27. So don't know exactly what's going on with the weather station there, but apparently it still is giving us issues. So apologize there on that front, but it looks like most of the rest of the models have us with maybe a near miss or very little to no ice accumulation. Let's see, I don't think there's any of the other ones that have run since. Yeah, none of the other ones have run since that are going to be of any more assistance. So it looks like we may just be in a wait and see. I'm going to keep running the models and give you the latest and the greatest, of course. So just stay tuned down to WDiMT MuleTown, and we'll get you that info as it comes across. Candy Ferris, thank you for that big money. All right. Skip and Jen have nothing on Wellington Drive. Amy's got nothing in Culleoka so far. Appreciate that. Jennifer says it's sprinkling in Chapel Hill. That looks about like what we are seeing there. Tanya's got nothing showing up in Southern Spring Hill. Appreciate that report. And Autumn seeing some mist off of Theta Pike. Appreciate that, Autumn. And then again, rain over by the college as well, too, over by C State here in MuleTown. Destiny says, how is Franklin looking? Franklin right now, it looks like they've probably just got some light rain, but it could be coming down as the mix. Probably not, just from looking at what I'm seeing right now. It's looking like, though, that they may end up with some of those ice accumulations up there. So it just depends on what time he's got to come back to this way. So it looks like it's going to hang more to the north if the models are to be trusted right now. Good thing about that HRRR model is that it reruns itself every hour, so we should have some pretty fresh info. Danielle, you are very welcome. We appreciate you for following us. All right, and yeah, Chrissy, yeah, the main roads are pretty good, so that will help. It's just going to be that ice. So, 1/10 of an inch of ice sounds a lot less than it, off the top of your head, but 1/10 of an inch of ice is enough to start seeing road impacts. That's enough to get a glaze on your car. I've already heard back from the west through Gibson, Dyer, Shelby counties. There was one more that they are starting to see some ice accumulation. But Benton, Gibson, and Dyer, that's it. And so broadcast media is reporting about 0.05 of an inch in Memphis, but that's already enough to get a good glaze on the cars. So, again, 1/10 of an inch of ice doesn't sound like very much, but it is enough to start screwing things up. Lori needs to head out. Yeah, so the main roads are cleared, probably from, I don't know about Autumnwood itself, or, what's that word? The side streets have been a little bit hit and miss, so I'm not exactly sure about the hill right there. Coming off of, I can't remember what street that's called. Armstrong, that's it, Armstrong. I was looking at the map, had to remember what that street was called. So yeah, I'm not sure about Armstrong. No, it kind of does have that hill right there, so that one still may be a little snowy or icy, but I think the city is doing a great job so far of the the side streets and everything. I haven't ventured back out this morning, so I'm not exactly sure how Sunnyside is, but yesterday it was still about the same. So those side streets and what we call some secondary roads may still be snowy and not as cleared, but it looks like all of the primaries are cleared. So like interstate, state roads like James Kimmel Boulevard, Carmack, things like that should be, and looked like they were yesterday, pretty cleared. It's going to be mainly any of the ice accumulation that we get today that's going to be the problem. But right now, as we just pointed out, it looks like that the models are saying it is going to stay to our north, so that is good news there. Candy, it's possible. I'm not going to call it just exactly yet, but the models are saying that Mount Pleasant may get lucky as well as Columbia, and it could go all to our north, up around Williamson County and areas up that way. Pamela... son leaving for Texas by way of 40 through Memphis. Well, Pamela, there's not really a great way to get there other than 40, unless you're going to take a lot more time. So 40 is about the only way to go west here, and he's probably going to drive into it either way. So just tell him to be very, very careful and make sure that the vehicle and the windshield and all that stuff stays de-iced. May stop by and grab a can of de-icer or something from AutoZone or Parts House or O'Reilly or whatever. So possibly, yeah, I mean, because there's not really a great way to get west other than 40, because there's not that many options out there. So understand the difficulties there, but yeah, he may just have to be very careful and drive slow. All right. Regina says Williamsport Pike is good. Malibu Canyon subdivision is still packed. Hollandale Circle is still covered. Yep. Seems to be the general story that we keep getting. So, Cindy, possible timing for arrival for the front in Lawrenceburg and Columbia. So it looks like it is arriving now. So the beginnings of it are headed this way, as we can see just with the precip that we've got showing on the radar. I'll turn the winter filter back on, and you can see it's kind of just spit and miss, we'll call it, for so far. Some of the lighter blue stuff here may not be making it to the ground, and some of the heavier stuff is still showing up just barely. Maybe some light snow here to the north, a little bit of rain to our south, and definitely some mix, it looks like, from the temps showing up back that way. Let me have a look. Yeah, there we go, at the temps. Yeah, and that's looking like that's what's going to save Columbia, is the temps are going to be above freezing. It looks like the temps may not get below freezing until about midnight or so tonight. So that is a plus down here for us. But again, that is just a model projection of what it thinks is going to happen. Yeah, so that may be what is our saving grace there, is the temps being a little bit higher. So it is starting to rain, or should be shortly. There may be some light rain falling there, like in northern Lawrence already, like around the Etheridge area. But as it stands right now, this is the beginning of the precip that we will see today. Beverly's got to drive back to Knoxville on Saturday. When would the best time be? Saturday actually looks to be fairly decent, so I'll pull that back up. So yeah, Saturday, it's going to be cold. Obviously, we're going to have a high of about 16 to 21. Lows, that night in the single digits, Friday and Saturday night. But it's looking like right now there's a 0 chance of precip. And I looked at the models a minute ago as well, and it looks like it tends to agree with that. So Saturday, I think you would be okay just whatever time that you want to, essentially. So there's not going to be a safer time than the other, I would say. Yep, you are very welcome, Pamela. That's about the only way to do that is go south then west. Yeah, and he will hopefully avoid any of that stuff coming out of Memphis. Regina, yes, so it's looking like we may just get a near miss from all of this stuff that is coming through. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on it very, very closely, as y'all know I will do. And we'll update you again as the models are finishing running. I should get another good 48-hour picture of the model here within about the next 2 hours or so. So I'll definitely get that updated on the page and make sure you all have the latest and the greatest info. But yeah, right now it looks like that we may just get a near miss off of this. So make sure that you are weather aware and checking out here the latest information that we've got for you on Weather Down in MuleTown and the National Weather Service, broadcast and TV media, all of that fun stuff. But just stay weather aware. I think that's about all I've got for you all. So nobody has any questions. Kinsley, what y'all got coming down off Valley Creek in Columbia? Is that still liquid rain, or what is going on there? Let me turn that back on because it's looking like we may have some changes. Okay. So yeah, Boppy is letting me know here that the winter weather advisory looks like it has been dropped off in the west. So looks like just my my info hasn't updated just quite yet here. So the that's what the purple area is there, the winter weather advisory. So I'm gonna turn that back off for a second. Let me have a look at that. Where are you seeing that at, Bobby? Ah, okay, I see it on the national map. It just hasn't updated just quite yet. Perfect. So yeah, it does indeed look like areas from the Mississippi River to the Tennessee River, roughly around Perry County or so, in a line like that, right around here, have been dropped from the winter weather advisory. So it looks like the Weather Service is pretty confident in the forecast enough there to go ahead and drop the winter weather advisory for the western half of the state. It just looks like that my stuff here has not quite updated yet, but that means that we here in MuleTown and the rest of Middle Tennessee are still covered under that winter weather advisory. So again, just stay frosty, no pun intended, and make sure that you are being weather aware today. And we will be bringing you the latest and the greatest information as it comes out. Regina, yeah, sure. I'm always happy to do what we do. But again, we do have some overhead costs that we have to keep covered. But the bio about info section, I believe, still has our Cash App in there. are basically not picky. We'll take whatever we can get. So we appreciate each and all of y'all. David says it's right at Columbia Academy, dry as a bone there. So that's good to know. All right, perfect. All right, I think that is all. Christina says it's sprinkling on Bear Creek. Is that all liquid rain as well, Christina? Looks like it all should be, so that is definitely a plus there. It looks to be on the radar anyway. Right. All right, Regina sent you a private message there on Facebook, so you should get that in just a second. All right, yeah, just rain on Nashville Highway, and it's dry, Christina says, so that is perfect. Good to know, good to know. All right, and then Bobby letting us know there in the comments, rocking between 34 and 36 degrees. I need to go up on the roof and kick the weather station, but it's still showing us at 27, so I know that is not correct. It just kind of keeps freezing and stops sending us info for whatever reason. So it was working fine yesterday, having problems with it the day before, and now it's back to doing its funny thing. So I may actually send that back to Accurate, because, again, that was something that we all purchased with the GoFundMe stuff that we received from you all. So it's like PBS when we say it's possible from viewers like you, we mean it. So appreciate each and every one of y'all joining us on the stream. I'll continue to post the latest and the greatest updates to the page, so just make sure y'all are staying tuned and staying weather aware. That's about all I've got for now, so we will catch you all later.